Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio again. Who plays in the opening round of the state baseball finals in Ozark today?
It all starts today. It's 1 week of baseball going on, all for the state championships. Now, the teams that we're interested in, these are classes 1 and 2 today and tomorrow. And the teams from the area that we're interested in are Miller and Dadeville. Well, Miller will play Faith Christian Academy at 1 o'clock. That's a Class 2 semifinal game. And then Dadeville will play a Class 1 semifinal game tonight under the lights at 7 o'clock against Northland Christian. The first game this morning starts at 10 o'clock, and Eugene is playing Portageville in that game. And it's baseball, Mike, all week long. All the classes 1 and 2 are today and tomorrow. 3 and 4 are Wednesday and Thursday. And then the big schools, 5 and 6, are on Friday and Saturday. And we have 2 representatives there, Willard and Springfield Catholic. Wait a minute, what happened to Rogersville? Logan Rogersville got knocked out of it by Springfield Catholic in a, I have to admit, something of a surprise. But be that as it may, that's baseball when you're in the one and done, one loss, and you're out there. Now, in this series, there are third-place games, so the consolation is right there. But still, it's week-long baseball down on the Ozark Mountain Sports Complex on Highway 65. Should be a lot of fun.
Do they always do this in Ozark, or do they change the locale?
Well, they used to change quite a bit, and it was for a while in St. Louis and one for a while in Columbia. But the one in Columbia began to run afoul of University of Missouri because of tournament possibilities, so they had to switch. In 1 year, they had to make a last-minute switch down here to Metter Park. So when they did that, they said, well, heck, you've got that place down there in Ozark that's got all turf. So the last several years it has been there, and it will be for a few more. Contract is always relet, I think, after 4 or 5 years, somewhere around there. We'll see what happens, but Ozark is a great place for that competition.
Friday, the Missouri State Bears went into a series in Lawrence, Kansas, and got a chance to watch some of that game, and felt like the Bears looked like they were out of gas, and that was pretty much the story for the game yesterday, too.
They didn't really play too badly. It's just that they didn't have it in the clutch where they like to. Now, against Arkansas on Friday night, the Bears were up 3-0, and then the pitching faltered, as you knew it would. The Razorbacks are a pretty good baseball team. They're not national championship level, and they won't be because they've been knocked out of it. But the fact of the matter remains that the Bears had their chances, couldn't get it done. They need to tweak the ball club a little bit, and they'll be pretty good, and they should be back next year. Now, what happens, of course, is going to depend a lot on the draft that's coming up, because some of the players will be drafted and so forth and so on. So the roster may be quite changed when next year rolls around. But having said all that, I think it's a good baseball program, and I think Joey Hawkins does a very good job of coaching this team, and I like the way they play. That regional up there was won by Kansas. They beat Arkansas last night 13-10, came from 6 runs down to win the game. So that puts Kansas into the Super Regional, and they will play the Super Regional in Atlanta. But who they play remains to be seen, because the host team of that regional, Georgia Tech, is playing Oklahoma in a winner-take-all game today. So if Kansas finds out who their opponent's going to be, if it's Oklahoma, they're still going to play them in Atlanta. So we'll see what happens. Kind of a messed-up deal, but, hey, that's the way it goes.
So OTAs just happened for the Kansas City Chiefs. -1 receiver is spending a little bit of time in a correctional facility because he violated his
otherwise known as jail.
And some knee cleanup before the real training camp starts, which he will be back for. What do you think? You think the Chiefs are still in the market for a wide receiver?
I do, but again, they run into the salary cap problem. There are some key individuals out there in the free agent market. Stephon Diggs, I think, is a really, really good choice if they were able to get him. But again, you have to work around the salary cap limitations, and the Chiefs are in one of those situations at the upper end, and that's not good. You want to be at the lower end of it. They have only a limited amount that they can spend without having to cut some players. He is a possibility. He's lost some speed, but he can still play. Tyreek Hill, I don't know about him. He has had just a catastrophic knee injury, and that wasn't good at all. Says he's fine, but I don't know. I think that would be taking a chance. And A.J. Brown, I wouldn't waste some time on him. He's going to the Patriots, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to try to outbid them at all.
I'm actually surprised you think Diggs would be a pickup because, man, he would be a nightmare in the locker room. He does not have the right acumen in the kingdom as far as my personal opinion goes.
But the Chiefs have Eric Bieniemy in there to correct that.
Very true, very true. And on the money side of things, Karlaftis just renegotiated or retooled his contract. So a lot of that, I think it was like almost up to $9 million, was all converted to signing bonus. So they got some more money in the cap. So I don't think it's gonna be enough to get a Stephon or an AJ, but at the same time, if they can get Tyreek at league minimum, veteran minimum, it's a nice distraction. They connect on that one time.
He's a former Chief, and he was a problem with the team. I'm quite sure these problems, the domestic problems, are gone. At least I would hope they would be anyway. But the knee injury, that's a major knee injury that he had. It was more catastrophic than Patrick Mahomes by a long shot. And he says he's coming back, but again, you can say all you want. You've got to be able to do it.
The St. Louis Cardinals just finished up the series with the Cubs, and I feel like after watching that series, this is going to be something going down the stretch. We're going to see these two battling it out for this division all day long.
Long summer still ahead.
Yes, sir, it is.
I don't know about the Cubs. They are in a deep slump. It's the only team that I can ever remember that's won 10 in a row, lost 10 in a row, and they just are not able to hit the ball in the key. Now, actually, that's a little misleading. Last night, there was only one difference. The Cardinals had 8 hits and the Cubs had 7, but the Cardinals had 5 runs, and they take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. 5-1 beat the Cubs last night under the lights in the Sunday night game. Very good pitching by Matt Liberatore and Hunter Dobbins, and I got the feeling watching these pitchers. Now, Liberatore is having a very nice year, but he doesn't go anywhere near the distance. He only went 5 1/3 innings last night and did strike out 2, 3, or 4, somewhere around there. Here comes a newcomer, Hunter Dobbins, and he totally shuts down the Cubs. They can't do a doggone thing. These new pitchers the Cardinals are throwing into the lineup, these teams haven't seen them before, and they're having trouble catching up with them. But that's not an excuse. Cardinals are playing very good baseball. They are in second place in the National League Central behind the Milwaukee Brewers. But the fact of the matter remains they're playing well as we enter the month of June, and you've got to give them credit.
You definitely do. And I know you're being hard on the Cubs for winning 10 in a row than losing 10 in a row, but it's pretty damn difficult to watch my Royals, and they just lost 6 in a row, my friend.
And they had the lead yesterday, 3-0.
Games they should win. That is the story of the 2026-27 season for the Kansas City Royals.
It's inconsistency. They cannot get it done because they do not have a consistent attack. Lost yesterday to the Texas Rangers 6-3. The Rangers are in St. Louis tonight, play the Cardinals. The Royals the skid is continuing, and it's puzzling as to why, because they have the talent, seemingly so, but the talent is not coming through. They'll get some key hits along the line, but it's not making any difference with them, and their pitching staff can't hold these other teams. So the Royals, losing 6 in a row, and now head to Cincinnati. They'll probably beat the Reds in several games, but I hope they do. But we'll see what happens, and Kansas City just can't seem to get it done. Now, the Springfield Cardinals, they played 2 games yesterday. One was the completion of a suspended game from the night before, and you can understand why it was suspended. Holy smokes, that rain that came in here was torrential, to say the very least. Anyway, the Cardinals did play that first game and won it 4-3. Second game, the Cardinals are behind. Get this, Mike, 5-1 in the last of the 9th inning. 5-1 to the Wichita Wind Surge. And the Cardinals score 5 runs and win the game 6-5. The big shot, Miguel Ugueto with a 2-run, 2-out home run. 6-5, Cardinals sweep it. Springfield Cardinals are playing much better baseball.
Oh, yeah, they are, and it's good to see, Ned. Very emotional race in NASCAR over the weekend, obviously, after losing Kyle, and Denny Hamlin gets the checkered flag.
He did indeed, and ended this is interesting, Denny Hamlin, one of the great veterans of the NASCAR circuit. The first time he's ever won in Nashville, but the Nashville track is fairly new. Nonetheless, he ended the race with the signature bow that Kyle Busch always gave to the crowd, and he did that in tribute to his buddy. Denny Hamlin does get the win, takes the checkered flag, and a very good win for a real fine pro.
Ned, it's good to see you again, sir, and have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.